All right, folks, John Rush here today. My son Richard Rush behind the camera. This is a review of the new 2017 Mazda CX3. No real major changes for the CX3 for 2017. We'll go through a few of the features and benefits here during this review, and then we'll take a drive at the end just like we always do. Let's just get right into it. Some of the cool things that, and by the way, let me stop real quick. Grand Touring Edition. This does come in 3 editions. It comes in the Sport, the Touring, the Grand Touring. This is the Grand Touring. Real quick, let me give you the price on those, by the way. $19,960 for the first level, for the Sport level, $21,960 for the Touring, and $24,990 for the Grand Touring. The model we're driving, fully decked out, $26,510, and it does come with the iActive Sense package, which we'll get into in a minute. So, as we move around the vehicle, it does have some really great lighting in the front. LED, they're adaptive, they move with the steering wheel. Works fantastic. This is just a great vehicle, and frankly, in my opinion, a great buy in the with, what do they call this? The subcompact crossover series vehicles. So nicely styled. They've done a good job. Aggressive styling down the side gives it a really good look. This is the all-wheel drive version of the CX3. It does come in a front-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive. The fuel economy on this particular vehicle in all-wheel drive with all of their SkyActiv technology, 27, 32, 29. So all around of 32, basically. We've been averaging above the 30. We're in the mid-30s all day long on this car. So car really works well. 2-liter engine, same across all trim levels. It doesn't make any difference. You still get the same 2-liter engine, 6-speed auto, or you can get a 6-speed manual in this particular vehicle as well. I'll get into some of the things on the inside in just a minute. Let's just get into the back hatch here real quick and talk about the storage capacity of the vehicle. So, you'll notice, not a huge back end because this is the subcompact SUV. It's not a full-size SUV, or a crossover, I should say. So, room. You've got, in this particular vehicle, 10.1 back here in the back, and there is a little panel Richard's lifting up where you can actually see down inside. There's a little more room down there for storage. So 10.1 in this particular vehicle. Get that back in here. So 10.1 with the seat up. With the seat folded down, 42.3. That's on this particular version, on the Grand Touring. On the other 2 models, it's 12.4 and 44.5. So in the other trim levels, you get a little bit more room, partially the way they've done the seating on the interior, and that's really about it. So, you know, substantial room. It's not huge, but for a subcompact to get 42 cubic feet of storage, I should say, not bad. No automatic hatch, which frankly it doesn't need. And of course you can see the rear wiper. They have put the license plate and done the fascia back here in such a way that your approach angles, if you do decide to go, you know, fishing, things along those lines, it does have decent approach angles, or if you do take it off-road, you can do so. Climbing into the back seat. And this seat, as we always say, back all the way. It's I shouldn't say exit position, but it is back all the way. And you will notice with this back all the way, it's tight. I'm 5'10", and my knees are in it. This would be a really, really uncomfortable ride for me. This does not recline. You can see I'm looking for it. There's no reclining mechanism. There is a console here in the middle that, or nope, there is not even. No console. This whole seat just folds down. I apologize. It's a 60-40 split in the back that you can fold down to make more cargo room in the rear. This model that we're driving does have the sunroof, which lowers the headliner down a little bit in this particular area in front of you. Good apportionments throughout, as you can see. It's kind of some carbon fiber look here, some suede. We are sitting on full leather in the Grand Touring edition, so that part is really, really nice, especially for the price at $26,000. But I'll just tell you, back seat, it's pretty tight. If you're going to have passengers, car seats, anything along those lines, and we should note that real quick. A lot of you folks with car seats, and we've had kids, I've got grandkids now, people forget that especially when kids are small, their feet don't bend. I mean, where they sit in the car seat, their feet stick out straight, and actually, in some cases, require more room in a car seat than what a full-size adult does. So it's one of those things we always recommend. If you're somebody that's got kids, or you're thinking about having kids, they're in car seats, I would put the car seat in the vehicle you're thinking about buying before I ever buy it to see how it fits. One of the biggest complaints that I've heard from people is they buy a car, they get it home, they throw the car seats in, and all of a sudden, oh, wow, we don't have near as much room in this as we thought we did. So, with that, it's tight in the back. That's all I'm going to say. Is it enough for a subcompact SUV? You'll have to be the judge. Let's jump to the front seat. All right, 2017 Mazda CX3. As I'm in the front seat now, again, keep in mind, subcompact crossover. You'll notice a few things in the interior. Real quick, we'll show you the door panel over there. Richard can scan over there. There is a little door pocket there, not a full cup holder. You'll see the Bose sound system and the speaker that's down there. Again, good apportionments throughout the vehicle. They've done a good job there. Just remember, you're in a subcompact SUV. I have to flip up the center console, for example, just have access to the cup holders, and they're sort of behind you. Again, not a huge deal, just something to remember. If they're down, the cups have to be fairly short, and you're going to flip it up and down to even remove the cups in and out. Again, not a big deal, just something to keep in mind. Nice apportionments throughout. I said that a moment ago. They've done a really good job. Leather on the dash, the seating, nice soft touches throughout. Love the steering wheel, the way everything is lined up. This particular vehicle with the iActive Sense package gives us all sorts of things. And honestly, again, for $26,000, we get, of course, the full Connect entertainment system, which is standard. We get lane departure. We get blind spot warning. We get smart brake support. We get adaptive cruise control. A lot of great features, again, in a vehicle in the mid-20s. And literally, you can get into a CX3 for under $20,000. It's a great buy. They've done a great job, again, on the interior. We'll get into some of the communication aspects, the nav, and how some of that works, which, by the way, is very Audi-ish. I don't want to ditch Mazda, but really, it's kind of designed off of that Audi with a knob in the middle. Get to see what's on the screen. It does have a heads-up display that pops up over here for driving. That part works well. Again, in Mazda, you get a lot of great standard features in their prices, and it just ends up being a phenomenal car. Is this a car I would consider over the Honda HR-V and some of the like? Absolutely. This car works fantastic, gets great fuel economy, and as far as I'm concerned, it has great power. I've heard some reviewers out there knock the 2-liter engine, saying it's not quite enough power. Frankly, myself or my son, either one, didn't notice any issues there whatsoever, considering what we're driving. Let's do that right now. As we speak of driving, we'll go take a drive in the 2017 Mazda CX3. All right, folks, getting ready to take a drive, 2017 Mazda CX3. Real quick, show you some of the communication side of it, if you would. So you've got your applications, your entertainment. So if you click that, takes you to the radio. You click it again, takes you to your audio sources. You can go back to your home button, run into your Bluetooth, the nav. All of that very easy to do, even as you're driving down the road. It really is, in my opinion, one of the better systems. And at first, I didn't like the pop-up screen, but I've really gotten used to it, and it's just not a big deal anymore. I like, again, the way they've done the interior on the Grand Touring, the two-tone finishes throughout. They've just done a phenomenal job. Now, some of you are going to say, well, who's this car for? Because somebody really that's, Richard commented a moment ago, he had somebody in the car over the weekend that was well over 6 feet tall, and it's tight for somebody over 6 foot. No doubt about it. This is a subcompact crossover. It's not a full-size vehicle. Keep that in mind when you're buying it. So just something you need to know. Driving the vehicle, I've enjoyed driving it. I actually like the looks, the handling. I was able to drive this car here in Colorado. We're mid-November, actually right before Thanksgiving, and we just had our first snowstorm of the year. And here in Colorado, typically that means lots of ice. And this first storm of the year for us was no different. We had lots of ice. How well did the all-wheel drive on this vehicle with just really the stock street type highway tires on it work? Fabulous. I had no issues. People were spinning out all over the place. There were people in ditches. I drove home, back to work the next day, no problem. This car worked phenomenal. I've got no problems with it whatsoever. Some of you would say, well, John, who's this car for? A young couple, no kids yet, an older couple like myself and my wife, where it's typically just the two of you. You still want the all-wheel drive capability. You want something that's a little more sporty, and you want something priced in the mid-20s. Well, guess what? It's all right here in the 2017 Mazda CX3. So I would encourage you, if you're in the market for a vehicle of this size and want great value, I'll tell you what, this is a tough vehicle to beat, and personally, I would buy the Grand Touring edition of this car. So what I will tell you to do is get out, get in this vehicle, drive it, check it out, go to your local Mazda dealer, and when you do, tell them John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.